Welcome to day 13. Let's keep this one short and sweet. We'll start off with the very top of day 13, present indicative. We've analyzed it a few times already, and of course it doesn't even really matter. So let's not worry about that. Let's get straight into the paragraph. It says, we are still learning how to say facts and things that you believe to be currently true in the present tense. However, today we'll practice this with the patterns that apply to the pronouns ellos, ellas, ustedes. That is an interesting thing. It seems a little bit strange, or at least it seemed strange to me in the beginning when I first was learning Spanish because, okay, ellos and ellas, you already know, they both mean they, right? Just depending on, male, female, whatever, okay? But ustedes means you, as in plural, or you all, or you guys, or as I like to say, y'all, right? Okay. Now, it just to me, it's a little bit odd that these three share a pattern, but it is what it is, as they say, right? So, it's a little bit odd, but you're going to be used to that really soon, okay? So basically, ellos, ellas, and ustedes, they are always going to share the pattern, whether they're future, past tense, or whatever other thing, as you'll get into deeper in this book. Let's go to the example sentence there. They eat a lot. That just gets your head in the right space to know what we're doing. So they do something. Now remember, this pattern also applies to ustedes, which means you all, or y'all, or you guys, okay? You girls, whatever. So ustedes. So this is going to be they do an action or you all do an action. That's the concept here, okay? Let's look at the pattern. You can see you take off the AR and you add AN, or depending on how you want to view it, you could just say, well, really, you're just taking off the R and adding the N. That's okay too. Different linguists view it in different ways. Doesn't matter. View it the way that makes sense to you for you to remember how this pattern goes. One below the word comer, you see the change between what they call the infinitive, or I just simple terms will say the unchanged verb, right? The original verb that ends in the AR, ER, or IR. So you have that. You see the pattern. You see the one with vivir. You have IR, and then you see what's going on there. And so practice. You already know how this goes. I could say something else interesting about the next page whenever you look at the vocabulary. Let's see a few things. First thing I will mention is about the third to the last word, entender. Now you see it says to understand. You most likely have heard someone say, kind of like attempting to speak, whether it's in a movie or in real life, where someone's like, comprende, amigo, or something like that. Yeah, sounds a little bit, I don't know, condescending, but you've probably heard that, right? So you may know that the word in Spanish, comprender, means to understand. And it's true, they are considered synonyms. Depending on the region of where you are, they can have some very nuanced little differences. Just as an example, people using the word comprender, or, a version of that, kind of like comprende, right? And obviously I'm saying that with an American accent, but they will use that to mean more of your understanding and patience of a matter. So something like, I'm sorry that I caused this inconvenience. Thank you for your understanding. I hope that makes sense. But let's go to entender, which is the one listed here. This one is by far the more common word to use to just generally mean to understand. So this one is more of comprehending a concept, even though they technically both can mean that. But we're just talking about the way that these words are spoken on a day-to-day basis for most Spanish, native Spanish speakers. So entender, this is the one that you really want to get down. One more little quick point I can mention about that word since we're on it. You see it says same root as double entendre. Obviously, we stole that word from French, but it's an English word now. We use it, right? Just like many thousands of other words that we've taken from, French and different languages and stuff. So you can see by the spelling, hopefully that gives you a little bit of a connection in your brain to think about, to remember entender, right? Entender. So Now, one other thing I'll mention before we wrap this up, as I'm looking at these words, I thought of an interesting point here is that if you look at the last word, buscar, it says to search, to look for, to pick up. Now, that's the common meaning. As you immerse yourself, you'll start to see how some words can be even more versatile. Now, I hear this word quite frequently used to mean like go get something. Kind of as you see where it says pick up as one of the translations. So in English, we would say go pick up your brother from school or go get your brother from school. Now in Spanish, a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times they'll use the word buscar, which technically means search. So it's kind of like they're literally saying, hey, go search for your brother at school. But they're giving the idea of picking him up, even though there could be a better word to use, grammatically speaking, but remember that books don't dictate how native speakers should be speaking. Books are kind of just like compiling a record of the way native speakers use languages. Languages evolve, and that's how it is. So that's just a neat little thing. And I guess here I could leave you with this point. That is to stress the importance of getting immersion, right? Because if we were to write a book on every little detail about Spanish, the book would be as tall as the Empire State Building, right? And that's not how languages are meant to be learned. Now, what you do have in this book, we've cut out a lot of the fluff and it's useful, but there's just little interesting things. Sometimes I like to take out some time to mention interesting things, and I hope that it leaves you with that principle. Go get some immersion. So do that right now. Stop, immerse your brain, whether it be talking with someone. Maybe you can listen to some Spanish music, watch a movie in Spanish. Get out there, go get it how you can get it. Thanks for being here. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.